Hello. So last night in St. Louis at the Hill Center, or was it the Enterprise Center? It's one of those things, but I call it the Hill Center. Um, so USC was there, first time in a long time, but also just having combat action there for a long time. It really got me thinking several months ago. Um, Actually, a couple of things on Twitter prompt this video idea. So one of the questions was one of these accounts I follow. Um, what started out great and just kind of what athlete kind of started out great in his career and just kind of fizzled out. And me being me, I replied, the UFC. I understand UFC is the biggest league right now. It merged with the WWE. It's all one company now. But USC really was amazing in that first 12 events because it was like taboo, it was dangerous, it was blood sport. Even presidential nominee John McCain um, trying to outlaw it or ban it, called it human cockfighting. I don't see the connection there, but which, by the way, that thing should that little episode should be on the next season of Dark Side of the Ring because that is a unique. That was the unique catapult of in the '90s of Fight Club, so to speak. So yeah, what what really started high and just kind of fizzled out? It had to be UFC. Let's face it. UFC is this boxing with a steel fence now. I'm sorry. Also, same account, different question from long ago. What's a annoying rule in sports? It's the weight classes. All right. I'm assuming it was all part of not getting banned, not getting outright barred or banned. But like I said, the first 12 UFC events really are my favorite, and after that, it just kind of fizzled out because you had, well, first of all, you had the tournament, you had, always those call them those bar questions. What would a jiu-jitsu fighter and a kickboxer who will win? Um, or karate and a wrestler, you know, and that was the great thing about the USA one, and almost 30. It was 30 years ago, almost coming up 30 and a half years ago. Amazing. It it blew up a major sport in 15 years. Before that, you know, I know when I was introduced to USC, it was through the WWF, which now WWE, which now are part of the USC. It's kind of weird how everything out because 1997 they brought in first ECW brought in um, um, Paul Vaughn from the USC to do Taz since Taz he was doing a shoe fight. He's the shoe fighter. Um, but how I was introduced was Ken Shamrock, because leading up to the Bret Hart Stone Cold Steve Austin I Quit WrestleMania 13 match, they brought in Ken Shamrock, who was a professional wrestler before he got into UFC, but you know, it was this great weird time in WWF. But yeah, so they were showing, all these cool um, video package of, these guys hitting each other. No gloves, no rules. It was no holds barred. It was like literally no holds barred, like the movie. Battle of the Tough Guys. But yeah, that's how I was introduced. Um, Especially, it was so unique from boxing at the time, because boxing is still regarded as this king of king sports. It was like baseball, and you have wrestling, and professional wrestling introduced USC to a large audience. Easy for me to say, um, but yeah, Ken Shamrock, um, all that video package and UFC style. Then I went to Sam Goody and Jamestown Mall, now defunct, and bought UFC One. They had UFC One. I still have it. It's in the video stack holder. I got four of the first five or four of the first five events on VHS. So I buy USA One when it was Finmark was putting out. It's it's different. It got all these hoist Gracie. It was the first time I was introduced to Hoist Gracie like that. A guy who's renowned then and should be renowned now as a UFC icon. And of course, I had Ken Shamrock on the tape. That's why I bought it. But yeah, it's something unique. And then it was UFC 2 when they introduced substitute winners. And then UFC 5. See, UFC 5 is probably my favorite one out of the first 12. Where you had Dan Severn had the NWA championship. He was still NWA. I think he just won it from Chris Candido in 1995. And you had the super fight between Hoist Gracie and Ken Shamrock, because Shamrock and Gracie was having this great feud in this time period. And these were pay-per-views that came out every 6 months. And compared to now, it's every month, every week. Now, it had like a 40-minute fight, which is awesome. And it still had an undercard. And it had Dan Severn, because he was my favorite. So, then yeah. Eventually, USC, these USC events, tournament got broke down less and less, and you still had these one-off matches, which that's kind of like boxing. Sucks now what USC becomes. It's basically a hipper thing of boxing. Boxing's still around, but it's not as glamorous as USC now. President Trump goes to events, and major stars come to these USC events, and it was I don't. It's kind of like seeing a really big band like say like Metallica in 1980 6, and look, and people bitching out, oh, they sold out. I get it, but but also it's kind of like if you're a fan of a product way before you were this head of the curve before everybody else, and now with all these matches, they always bring into like new guys. Like I listen to Jim and Sam every morning before work. On my drive home to work, easy to see. And Jim talks about he does his podcast with another UFC fighter, and you know names I never heard of. Is he good? Okay, he's a champion. Okay, I believe you. I mean, when UFC was raising more popularity during the aughts, um, it's one thing that it would be easy to follow, but now it's kind of like WWE can't really follow anything. It's always new guys, always new matches, and it's just like everything else lately. It's just kind of you know just hard to keep up. Yeah, and the weight classes. You have the bantamweight, you have the featherweight, you have all these weird rules. I mean, I get it. There's some rules that are there for a reason, but I mean, you have weight classes. Come on, let's see what a 300 pounder versus a 237 guy would do. Come on. That's why I would say they always have an interim champion. I was like, come on, let's bring back the tournament. Tournament, come on, this is awesome. Let's bring back the tournament one night every so often. Let's just do this style, that style. I mean, I grant it's still now that style different styles, but it's weight classes. I don't like weight classes. It's stupid. I guess the reason why they're guy had to have weight classes because probably that thing with John McCain and whatnot, but also it was like an elbow and something like that. But yeah, this is I kind of wish UFC would go back to the tournament and. I get it. They're making hand over fist. They're literally make a lot of money, but I don't know. I'm just was something great about those first 12 events where he had the tournament. It was in these small venues like in Dothan, Alabama, Mississippi. These small arenas. And now they're playing. They're fighting in hockey arenas. It's like I don't know. It's just combat sports feels better when it's all enclosed. Pro wrestling, same thing. I love like ECW was great because it was a smaller crowd. You didn't have these large things. Large venues. Wrestling. Wrestling, combat sports. Let's put that in one singular notion. It's great when it's enclosed like that because it feels almost like a fight club. But yeah, I know there's no turning back. I understand. But at least there's the DVDs. There's the UFC streaming platform. I can just rewatch the same 12 bites or same 12 main events over and over again. But oh well, man. Yeah, I guess really that's all I have to say about UFC. Don't get me wrong, I love UFC. I love fight. Don't know who the hell who's fighting, but it's just sometimes you kind of wish things didn't change. But at least it's here. At least it's something better than boxing because now I'm not a big boxing fan. Um, I'll watch Mike Tyson fight. Maybe Tyson Fury or any boxer named Tyson. Um, but it's not boxing, man. You basically have objects on. You basically have foam Hulk hands, and you're hitting each other with it. It's kind of like that one New Jack match.